Hello and welcome to our number talk. Today we are looking at the expression 37 plus 34. What we do in a number talk is we use mental math. That means no paper, no pencil to try to solve an expression, and then we explore all the different strategies we could have used together. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and do that. Pause the video, work out 37 plus 34 in your head. When you have your answer, unpause the video, and we will look at all of our strategies together. So what we could have started with, if we wanted to, was near doubles. So 37 plus 34, what this does is we're looking for numbers that are really close to each other. Look how close 37 and 34 are. They're really only 3 away. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break up this 37 because I want to make doubles. So if I take my 34 here and my 34 here, I can add those together. And that's going to be pretty easy. So I'm going to take my 37 and kind of break it apart into 3 plus 34. So I've got my 34 that I want plus these 3 that are left over. Then I've got my 34 over here. Now my associative property, what that does is this lets me regroup. So you need 3 or more add-ins and you can shift the groups that you're doing it together. So instead of 3 plus 34, which makes 37, I'm going to regroup them so I can do my doubles. 34 plus 34. You notice I kept the add-ins in the same order, and I kept all of them. All I did was shift the grouping, so I'm going to do my doubles first. 34 plus 34, we're pretty good at doubles, even big doubles like that. 68, then I got to add my 3 back in, and 3 plus 68 gets us, hopefully what you had in your head, 71. We can also use the associative property to make tens. What we do is we look at both of our add-ins, and let's look at this first one. How far away is that from our next 10? Well, we see we've got 37. All I need are 3 more, and I can get up to 40. So that's what I want to do. I want to break up my second add-in, and I want to grab 3 from there to bring this 37 up to a 40. So what I'm going to do is keep my 37 the way it is, and I'm going to change that 34 into a 3 plus whatever's left over, which is 31. So I've got 37 plus 3 plus 31. I'm going to use my grouping property once again to add my 37 and my 3 first, keeping all the add-ins together in the same order. That's going to be 40 because that's the number I was looking for. And then 40 plus 31 once again. Super easy. That's 71. Let's make that a 1 right there. Now, place value is where most of us probably start when we don't know which strategy we use. What we do is we break down each of our add-ins into our expanded form. So look at 37. It's really 30 plus 7. And look at 34. It's really 30 plus 4. Just break it down by place value. And what we want to do is we want to grab our tens first. So there's my 30 and my 30. And I want to add those first. Now, in order to get those together, I need to regroup them, but I also need to reorder them because they're not next to each other. And that's where this commutative property comes in. My associative property lets me regroup, but my commutative property lets me reorder my add-ins. That's why 5 plus 8 is the same as 8 plus 5. So I'm going to reorder them so my 30 and 30 get added together first. That's easy. That's my 60. Then I'm going to grab what's left over, my 1s. That's my 7 and my 4. I'm going to grab those second. That's a basic fact right there. 7 and 4 is 11. So add those together, 71 once again. We can also add up in chunks. And what this is kind of like our place value, except we keep our first add-in together. So our 37 plus 34, we're going to keep that 37, but you notice how I'm going to take that 34 and break it up into a 30 and a 4. And I want to grab that 30 and I want to add that to my 37 first, because that's going to be pretty easy. That's 67. Then I've just got my 4 left over. I will have to regroup a little bit, but that gets us back up to 71. Finally, we can finish with compensation. And what this does is this lets us kind of change both of our numbers into easier numbers. So we're going to find our add-in that is closest to the next 10. So it's this 37 that we looked at in our first strategy of making tens. We're 3 away. But what we're going to do is we're going to steal 3 from this 34 over here. So I'm going to literally take those away, and now I'm going to make a new number of 31. And I'm going to add them back in. Let me draw these back in over here. So I'm going to add them back in. So now I've got an even number of 40. So I took 3 away from 34, but I added them back into 37. So I still have a balanced expression because I have a plus 3 minus 3. And look at that, 40 plus 31. Very easy, 71. So those are all the different ways that I can think of to add 37 plus 34. If you can come up with another way, that's wonderful. Go ahead and add that as a comment to the video. If you are a teacher and would like a copy of the slide deck for your own use in the classroom, you can find it on my website, 5minutemath.net.